Hello, and thank you for clicking on this video. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikki, and we're going to be filling out my March monthly spread in my hobonichi cousin. And we're going to talk about why am I filling out my March spread when it's already over halfway through March. So sit back, relax, or, listen to this as a podcast if you're not going to be journaling or whatever, and let's get into it. For reference, I am using the Coffee Monsters Co. monthly hobonichi cousin spreads. I bought the set at the beginning of the year, and I really think they're really cute. This was like a Lucky Charms sort of spread. I don't know if I can say Lucky Charms because that's probably trademarked, but I think that was the inspiration behind it because it is so pastel. It's filled with so much happy St. Patty's Day imagery, and I thought, it was a good time to set it up. I don't think I would have set up the spread if it wasn't for the fact that I had these stickers and I wanted to use them. And also, I find stickers very therapeutic, and especially since the thing that I had been dreading all month and the reason why I wasn't even planning and I was just going through the motions all month passed, I felt like, you know what, it's time for me to use it. So if you're new to my channel, you might not know that I am a medical student, and if you've been here for the past year, or even if you're more recent, I talk about it a lot in my videos, especially in my planning videos, because obviously that's what I was doing throughout the day and I had to plan it and all that sort of thing. And something that had taken up a lot of brain space the past couple months was the match. And if you don't know, think of a sorority match process if you're from the United States, where you go and interview yourself at different sororities, or I don't know about fraternities. I know nothing about fraternities, but you go to sororities, you get interviewed, and then you make a list at the end of that sort of pledge week or pledge month or pledge period, and then they also rank you, and then you have a sort of match. So that is the sophistication of the process that decides how doctors that graduate from medical school get to have jobs after medical school. If you think that's scary, it's because it is, and it really, really sucks, okay? As you can imagine, this is a very anxiety-inducing process filled with uncertainty that really just feels like a kick in the face after a whole, 4 years of working your butt off. Actually, no, it's usually more because, for example, I've already done 8 years of higher education, but a lot of people that I know have done way more, especially if they went and got masters or PhDs or other graduate degrees. So it's a lot. It's a lot to go through, and it really paralyzed me last month. Because explain to me how I can make a plan with me video where I don't know what I'm going to be doing within a month, within 3 months, where I'm going to be living, if I'm going to be far from home, close to home, if I'm going to be in a really cold place or a really hot place. That was all out of my control, and I just had a sort of paralysis that made it so that I could not do anything. I did post a lot on TikTok because I was consuming media like no tomorrow. I wasn't reading necessarily. I was just watching a lot of TikTok and watching a lot of things on the internet, and I feel like it was probably quite unhealthy, so I don't recommend it, but it really distracted me. I also read a lot of fan fiction because fan fiction has this it's like hypnosis at this point where it can just suck you in. I was really into the Mandalorian ex-reader fan fiction side of the internet, as well as the Hermione side of the internet, which is a whole other story. I'm not getting into the ethics of Harry Potter right now, but the fanon version of Harry Potter is absolutely insane, and I really enjoy engaging in that sort of discourse and in that world, because some of the best books I've ever read are fan fiction, but that's, again, another story for another time. So anyways, the big day came and the big day went. And unfortunately and sadly, I didn't end up in the position that I wanted, in the sense of I got into my first choice of preliminary position. So now I'm getting into really specifics, but I applied to a specialty that I needed to match into 2 different parts. So it was an advanced position and a preliminary position. And if you've ever seen Grey's Anatomy, that's like what they call the intern year. That's like when you're an intern. That's when you're a baby resident, basically, or your PGY1. But the advanced position was a separate position, and that was really hard to get into. And it was unexpectedly very competitive this year. It is a competitive specialty that I applied into, and it was even more competitive this year. At least that's what it felt like. And I went unmatched into radiology, which, really sucked. And I had to grieve that, process it, and really think about my future. And I just was really overwhelmed with everything. So that week, I didn't even consume content. I was just like dead to the world. I ended up reaching out to my mentors, reaching out to a mental health therapist, psychologist, because I needed some external help with processing it. And I really think that it's important that I'm open about that, because I think that there is this culture of you have to tough everything out by yourself, and that really doesn't help anyone. And you're only going to become stronger when you know when you have to ask for help. But different strokes for different folks. You know what I'm saying? This is my almost professional opinion. Either way, I'm feeling a lot better, and I processed everything that happened. And I just wanted to kind of remind you, if you're listening, there are many moments in your life that will feel like the end of the world, and that is completely normal, and you are valid to feel those feelings. The human spirit is more resilient than you'll ever imagine, and I've seen it in the hospital with patients. I've seen it with my colleagues at school and among mentors that I have that are just so resilient and strong that the only thing you can do when you're really going through a tough moment is give time to time. That's like something we say in Spanish. I'm Puerto Rican, but we say darle tiempo al tiempo, which means you're literally just giving time to pass. And you'll find that as time passes, you will have more perspective, you will feel better, and you will heal. And I think that's always the hardest part, especially when you're in the thick of things. And this sort of dialogue that I'm going on in this tangent really isn't about the journaling, but I hope that if you press this video, you leave it with a message of hope, and that you are stronger than anything that can come before you. And it sucks to have to be strong. I am a proponent of the soft life. I really don't like hustle culture at all, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, With time and perspective, you also get the opportunity to think of things differently. So for example, I am finally able to think of, oh my God, I really need to get my current work in progress, which is Supernova work in progress, in case you don't know, up to speed. I have to update my YouTube channel. Now I have to move because I am going to be moving during my transitional year, which is like insane and scary because I'm going to be by myself. But I am going to be in a city that I'm really familiar with, at least. So it's not going to be too bad of a transition. And I know deep down that I can get through it, and I hope that you always remember that you will get through this too. Whatever you're going through right now, whatever feels like the end of the world for you, whatever that may be, you will get through it, and I believe in you. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this wasn't too rambly, but I really felt like I needed to put this out there somewhere on my channel, because so many of my followers and subscribers have been, cognizant of this big moment in my life, and it didn't feel genuine for me not to update you, and also not to be honest with you that it didn't go as I expected it. But that doesn't mean that it was the worst thing that can happen, because at the end of the day, I'll grow from this experience, and I will do better, and I will follow my dreams no matter what they may be. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time with a more regular scheduled upload schedule, hopefully. Thank you. And I'm so sorry that it took so long to get this video up.